VC, welcome back. We're on, March vinyl finds, which is everything from sort of, the mid-Jan till now. I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm feeling a bit rusty. But I've only got 4 records to show, but there are 4 really good ones. It is a Sunday afternoon here, 4 p.m. We're getting towards the end of summer. I can feel like any day now the temperature's going to drop a little bit, which is really sad. Just 4 records. I'm kind of still in the quantity over quality. Sorry, quality over quantity vibe. 4 records that I would say are sort of medium to high on the want list. Probably high on the want list, I would say. I've sort of been after these for quite some time. I did buy all these off Discogs, just because things in New Zealand are pretty dire, especially at the moment for secondhand records. Nothing is really coming in from overseas. So all from the interwebs. I think people that have been around VC for sort of the past 10 years will recognise all 4 of these. They're things that I have been wanting for quite some time. But this one is definitely a one that I'm really happy to have. I didn't think I would have a copy. It's this here. I'll just show it. If you recognise this straight away from the cover, you'll know how great it is and what a special record this is. This is, I'll try to pronounce it, Algarnas Tradgard. That's probably complete butchering of that. I know Jonas at Sublime Media is probably cringing. This is super cool. I remember I didn't know this until it got reissued. I think it was like in 2013 or 14 on Subliminal Sounds, and I remember hearing it and going, wow, this is amazing. It's I guess you would call it psych rock, krautrock, droney thing. It's basically like a Swedish krautrock record, which is a really lazy description, but it sounds very slow and heavy and burning, and elements of folk, elements of psych. It's really great. There's some amazing violin parts in here. This came out originally in 1973 on Silence Records. I'll just show you the inner sleeve this came with. Silence is a amazing, I guess you'll call it prog psych Swedish label that I wouldn't have known really about if it wasn't for people like Jonas, actually. This is, as far as I can tell, I have scoured the internet. This is a second press, but from the year of release, which is good enough as an original for me. So it's beautiful. I'm really happy with it. I did buy it on a eBay auction. They said it was deeply scratched in one part, but honestly, there's a couple of ticks in a certain part for about 12 seconds, and that's it. So I'm really over the moon. I feel like I did really well to get a copy. Please check this out. It is a truly wonderful special record with amazing artwork. It ticks all the boxes. Just look at that. I had a kind of a brief thought where I was like, oh, this could sound like Godspeed You Black Emperor in parts. Probably mainly because that was due to kind of like the droney violin parts and the way the music swells and builds up. My brain did sort of go there for a brief amount of time. If that's another reference point, maybe. If you don't know it, please check it out. It's absolutely fantastic. And I remember when the reissue that's I think it's a double LP came out, everyone was sort of picking up and buying it, and for whatever reason I just didn't buy it. I don't know why. I think it was too expensive or something. I'm kind of happy just to have waited and I kind of got it for a really good price, like probably the same price as what the reissues would go for now, maybe slightly less. So yeah, I was really happy with that. Algarnas Tradgard. Yeah, that was number 1 of 4. Um, Speaking of important people in the VC, this is a record that I learned about from Dave Belson, whose channel, I don't know what it's even going under these days. He showed this, close to 10 years ago probably, how time flies. At the time, I didn't know who really any of these players were. I'd maybe seen names around. I'd seen them on the Wildflowers compilations, and I thought this just looked super cool. I think it was definitely more of an advanced jazz thing. It was probably quite a way ahead of where I was at, but I was always kind of looking at this and thinking how I would like to get it one day, and I just never did because it was kind of quite expensive to get them online in a condition that I wanted. So yeah, I finally got a copy. I found a sealed copy on Discogs, and I paid a little bit, but I'm really happy to finally get it. I've kind of been, drooling over a copy of this for many years, so I just pulled the pin and grabbed it, and it is truly, truly great. It's super intriguing. There's so much going on here. I guess you would say it's kind of experimental jazz. God, I don't know. The range of instruments that's going on, talking drums, cowbells, flugelhorns, Indian flute, lots of acoustic guitar, marimbas, mandolins, bamboo flutes. I will say it's very spacious, and there's lots of things that pop in and out, and sort of squeak and squall at you. It does kind of sound like a farmyard. I don't know. That's in the best way possible. It's really great. I think Michael Gregory Jackson's acoustic guitar is really interesting in this. He's a really interesting musician, but having that as a counterpoint to Oliver Lake, David Murray, and Leo Smith kind of going off really adds a nice contrast. But yeah, this is great. I'm really happy to get it. I think this originally came out on, I can't remember the year, but I want to say like 74. I can't remember, but it's on Bija Records. And I just want to show the label because I think the label is super cool. This is very minimal. But there you go. If you like your free jazz in a honking, like not necessarily furious and fiery, but definitely more esoteric and I don't know how to describe it. Patient. I don't know if that's the word to describe it. It's definitely not a fire heavy free jazz monster kind of thing. It's super good. So I was really happy with that one. Another one that was on the list for ages, and I really wanted to find a really clean copy. Was this wonderful record here, Chico Freeman, Spirit Sensitive. Now, imagine you guys in the US and Canada probably see this record around all the time, but I have never seen a copy in real life. Believe it or not, it's actually shot up recently, like to beyond amounts that I want to pay. This used to be sort of like, I guess, a $20, $30, that's kind of New Zealand dollar record. And I never bought it because I thought I'll just find one at some point. And then I noticed for some reason the past couple of years this has really gone up in value. Like people are paying, $100 for this, which is crazy to me. And so I was like, oh well, there goes my chance. I don't want to pay a lot of money for it. And especially because this is a very beautiful, lush, soft album. I wanted to get a really clean copy. I didn't want to pay crazy money for it. I sort of given up, and weirdly eBay, which I never really go on, I just had a quick browse on eBay and this popped up from a seller in France he was selling harmonicas and old vintage French postcards and a whole bunch of knick-knack things, and this was on there. And he just said excellent condition, and I thought the price was so cheap that I just took a risk on it. And it's come through, and it is in absolutely fantastic shape. I'm really happy. Anyway, enough about the story. The music. Now, for people that know you jazz, Cecil McBee, Billy Hart, Chico Freeman, Don Moye, and John Hicks, all absolute legends, 1979. So they kind of, you know, at their peak or just past their peak. These guys have been doing some really interesting far out stuff for the last kind of, you know, 10 years. But they really, really bring it home, and they really sort of nail some really classic standards. They do like Autumn in New York, It Never Entered My Mind. I think are these all? They're all, no, they're not. They're not all composite. Every one of them, apart from one track by Cecil McBee, I'm pretty sure is a standard or a classic. But yeah, this is sounds like a hard bop record, and probably a bop record. It's really beautiful, really simple. Nothing is overplayed. It's kind of a very relaxing jazz record, but it's done so well that you can tell these guys just know how to play, and they've just really focused on, I guess, this. I quite like the title Spirit Sensitive. It kind of invokes the idea that these guys have gone back to the roots and really got in touch with what makes amazing, beautiful, you know, jazz, I guess. Yeah, Cecil McBee always is amazing. His bass on here is fantastic. Always so composed. But yeah, I love this record. It's my favorite Chico Freeman that I've heard, even though there's a couple I haven't heard. Yeah, really fantastic. I was very happy to get that. And the last one is a reissue that has been reissued a couple of times now, but this is the 2021 reissue of Selda. Now, this is one that was shown in the VC a lot, you know, also going back 7 or 8 years ago. Again, I don't know why I didn't buy the reissue when it was around. I remember holding it a few times, you know, and I think maybe it was just a bit ahead of me, or I didn't know what it was or how to listen to it. But in the years since, this kind of the 2012 reissue on Finders Keepers kind of got very pricey, and I didn't want to pay a crazy amount for it. So I'm really happy to see that Faraway Sounds have reissued it. Absolutely amazing. Anatolian, Psych, Turkish rock, pop. It's all in there. Yeah, it's really fantastic. The guitars sound so killer and so crunchy, and yeah, and the bass just grooves along. There's some really fantastic tracks on here. Yeah, I'm really happy I finally got a copy of this. I'm just smiling looking at it because it's one that I've been wanting for, probably since I learned about it in like 2014, 15. Yeah, so really nice to add to the collection. This is Selda, self-titled. Please check this out. Originally, she was a Turkish folk singer, and this was she was a folk singer, but she was also a bit of a political activist and a revolutionary in Turkey, and she was you know, a big part of the change and the revolution in culture in the 70s in Turkey. And this is her stepping into a more rock and psych production. I'm pretty sure it was produced by someone whose name escapes me right now. Oh my god, I've forgotten who it is. I can't remember. But Mogala, who you may know, who also got stuff reissued, I think play on this, and they really bring that sort of heavy Anatolian psych sound to it. Yeah, really good. Killer vocalist. Highly recommended. I guess most things I show on here are highly recommended. But yeah, that was all. A nice, quick, short video. 4 killer records. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you're doing well. I apologize for being terrible at comments. I do read them all. I just don't respond. I don't know. I just need to get around to it. But yeah, that's all for this month. Yeah, keeping it tight, I guess. I don't know. All right. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you all when I see you all. Yeah, that's all.